Hi, I'm Vicky Scott Ross, and today we're going to talk about the importance of a CV and how to organize it. Remember, a CV is fundamental in creating a good first impression. Don't forget that employers will often see hundreds of CVs, and so you need to make sure that yours stands out. Always include a cover letter. The cover letter should be a personalized message to the company you are trying to seek employment from, and should be addressed Dear Sir or Madam. You should mention that you are interested in their company, attaching your CV, and eager to set up an appointment with them. Keep it brief and polite. Use phrases like, I would like to set up an appointment at your convenience, or I look forward to hearing from you. Make sure that you thank them for taking the time to go through your CV. Now, let's look at the CV itself. In the structure, make sure you have the same font throughout. We recommend Arial. Size 12, correct spelling, and all the text is justified. Save your document using Word in a universal format that will not create problems when opening it. You should divide it into no more than 5 sections. These are 1. Personal information and objective. 2. Professional experience. 3. Education. 4. Personal skills and other information. And 5. References. In the personal information, you should always put this at the top, center justified, with your name, or below with your name to the left. Make sure that you include your full name, date of birth, nationality, address, contact information, which would be the telephone number and email address, and always make sure that your information is correct and updated. Next should come your professional objective or objectives. This is the best way to tell your employer exactly what your professional ambitions are in no more than 2 sentences. For example, to work as part of a team in the marketing department of a multinational company, which will allow me to gain experience in an innovative, dynamic, and international environment. In this example, we have that I'm applying to work as a host for an English learning show in a new, dynamic, and innovative medium. The objective shows that you have a clear goal and focus and is absolutely necessary in showing your potential employer your level of professionalism and good attitude. Next, you should include your work experience or education. If you do not have any relevant work experience or have just gotten out of university, then go on to education. If you do have work experience, then go to that first. In the work experience, make sure that you mention from the most recent until the least recent, and make sure that you highlight all your strengths in every experience that you had. Include the employer, which is the company name, position, responsibilities, and any daily challenges you had to overcome. Be descriptive here, but get to the point. Your employer will always ask you about this in the interview. Mention your strengths, which will add value to the position and company. As an example, you could start it like this. Worked as part of a team of 12 people, writers, directors, and teachers, in a challenging and fast-paced writing environment. Worked under pressure to assist in organizing a question and answer segment from viewers, which had to be narrowed down from an average of 200 a week to 10. It is so important that your content is clear, concise, focused, and relevant. When describing your previous position, make sure that you mention aspects which make it attractive. For example, I worked in a challenging international environment, or I created national campaigns. Describing yourself. Don't forget to describe yourself. You can use adjectives like consistent, focused, a team player, reliable, resourceful, responsible, professional, dynamic. And you can also use verb phrases such as works well under stress, high performing, and having excellent interpersonal skills. This will make you sound more articulate and focused. Why don't you ask your friends how they would describe you in no more than 3 adjectives? Now let's move on to education. Make sure that you mention your degree or degrees and when and where you got them when you graduated from university or college. If you didn't, make sure that you also add your high school diploma. And don't forget to add any other specialized courses which provided you skills that will be helpful to this particular job interview. Skills. Always include things such as languages, computer, and presentation skills. Be honest about the amount of knowledge, skills, or experience you actually have, because a lot of candidates exaggerate and your interviewer will often ask you about this, so be very careful. An example of this is when you're describing your language ability. For example, when describing your ability in English, it is best to use your TOEIC score. For example, 122 to 465 is beginner to lower intermediate. 465 to 850 is intermediate, and 850 to 990 is upper intermediate. Applicants who mention that they have a fluent level in English must be very careful, as the interviewer might switch to English during the interview. Other information could be things like extensive knowledge of Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, and any other programs that you use on a daily or weekly basis. Finally, include at least 2 references. Make sure you put the full name of the person and their connection to you, as well as contact details, including telephone number and email. Now, let's take a look at some review tips. First, don't forget that your cover letter and your CV are a first chance to make a good impression. Second, add a picture to make your CV stand out if you want. Third, make sure that you include all relevant personal information, such as your full name, your telephone number, and your contact emails. Number 4, keep the structure clear. Use the same font throughout, size 12, check your spelling, and make sure that all your text is justified. Number 5, always write your cover letter and CV in a compatibility format using Word. Number 6, make sure that you include your most relevant work experience, starting with the most recent. Number 7, mention your strengths and how these add value to a company. Make sure that you do not exaggerate. Number 8, be ready to give clear examples of things that you have mentioned in your CV. Number 9, be honest and humble. Never lie. If you do not know, then admit so. Number 10, always include your references. And finally, number 11, make sure that you reread your CV or have a friend read it for you. This is the end of the podcast. I hope that these tips have helped you and made it a lot easier for you to write your next CV.